The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
Okay, it's Valentine's Day, which means we got to give you 69 reasons why the Vancouver Canucks should keep Thatcher Demko, okay? All right? It's all about that back end, if you really think about it, okay? Now let's do it.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, happy Friday, happy Valentine's Day, and welcome to another episode of Locked On Canucks. My name is Trevor Beggs, co-host of Locked On Canucks, and also a Canucks writer with Daily Hive Vancouver. Before we get into it, we got to thank you for tuning in to Locked On Canucks, because it is your Canucks every damn day. And if you want to show that special person in your life some love, oh yeah, get them a subscription to Locked On Canucks. It's free on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. Man, oh man, I hope Thatcher Demko's body is feeling the love today. I hope he's getting oiled up. I hope he's feeling good. And I hope he's ready to help the Canucks do some pretty incredible things. But there's a lot of question marks about Thatcher Demko. And we are now, Kyle, just a couple of weeks from the deadline, 8 games from the deadline for the Vancouver Canucks. And I think it's a big question. What do you do with Thatcher Demko? Let's talk about that. I want to compare the Canucks to the Carolina Hurricanes for a couple of reasons as well. We'll get into that. We'll touch on Four Nations and, of course, Kyle's favorite day of the year, Valentine's Day. Before we do all that, Kyle, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I think this day, Valentine's Day, should be a nationwide, a global-wide holiday, okay? Think about it. Love first, right? Heals all wounds. And we take days off for like recovery days, right? If Super Bowl Monday is a national holiday, dude, Valentine's Day got to be the same thing. Like, think about what you're going to put your body through the line tonight, okay? We talked about the Nutcracker yesterday, that move. You ever hear about the stick break? You ever hear about that one, the stick break? Hey, what can I say, man? I like it. Hey, rough. No pain, no game. Okay. Speaking of which, Thatcher Demko, is he gonna play right away when we're back to playing normal hockey with the Vancouver Canucks? Okay. No pain, no game. I think this guy clearly plays through the pain, even though, again, it normally doesn't work in his case. That being said, the guy's tough as nails. He's a Vancouver Canuck. Like, I'm not even talking contractually. I'm talking like in his blood. He's blue and green. He really is. He'll do anything for the team. But all in all, how much left does he have in his career to do for this team? I'm actually really curious about it. It's really fascinating, okay? Demko is a 93 overall goalie, 95 overall goalie when he's on his game, when he's healthy. Here we are literally thinking like, damn, like, do we have like 30 more Demko games left? I'm not talking about just this season. I'm talking about next season too, combined. Like, is the end near with him and the Canucks? And part of me is like, probably.
I mean, it's the question that every Canuck fan is thinking right now, and that's why it is a question. Like, what do the Canucks do with Thatcher Demko? Like, is there, Kyle, maybe I'll toss it to you first. Like, is there any sense in trying to shop this guy, seeing when you could get on the open market and trying to trade him? Like, whether it's at the deadline or in the offseason, because he is eligible for an extension on July 1st. And I think there's one somewhat of a comparable in terms of what you can compare to Thatcher Demko and the contract he might sign. Not a perfect comparable, and we'll get into it, but I'll throw it to you. Like, does it make any sense for the Canucks to shop Thatcher Demko, or do you just hang on to him and hope for the best?
I feel like it makes sense for the Canucks to shop Thatcher Demko only if they can get a really good offer for him, right? Like something that he would have fetched, I don't know, in a previous point in his career. I'm not going to say last year, because last year he was just lethal before he got hurt. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's not a trade offer that's on damaged goods, the Canucks should be exploring that, because that's just life. Okay, that's just business, baby. Again, Doncic just got traded. That being said, I don't think the Canucks should eagerly pursue that, only because it's quite obvious that every single offer, 100% of the offers, are going to be looking at Demko like he's from the thrift store, okay? At a surplus store. It's just the truth. everyone's getting this guy at a discount. Like the injury history, the Papatias, Pepto-Bismol, the Pepto-Politis, like it's like exactly okay. The guy's pretty much like a really good goalie, and like he's not a guinea pig. But bro, I'm telling you, like, people are scared of Thatcher Demko in that knee. It's just obvious because they don't know what it is. So he's always going to be damaged goods, and I got to keep him because since you're not getting a favorable return, I've said this many times. This team, your Vancouver Canucks, with Quinn Hughes, and not knowing what they're going to get in Elias Pettersson, they need like grand slam available players at their disposal, and still, you never know. Okay. If I can come back from pneumonia, Demko can come back from whatever. I want him to come back from this and never get hurt again. And if that's the case, this guy's so good. He's grand slam material. And I want to keep that, especially if the only thing you can get for him if you want to risk losing that is, again, 14 cents. Okay? Straight up.
Yeah, and 14 cents Canadian, which is like, what, 5 cents US right now? So, yeah, there you go. Look, I'm firmly of the belief that it makes next to no sense for the Canucks to trade Thatcher Demko. And here's why. Again, with the injury history, he's unlikely to fetch you anything close to fair value on the open market. You're better off with Demko to keep him in the fold and have him, if he isn't healthy enough to play, have him as your dark horse, have him as a guy who's on LTIR, who can come back and who can do some danger for the team. Mm-hmm. And like one of the main comparables for Thatcher Demko, and it's Frederik Andersen of the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, Frederik Andersen statistically has been one of the best goalies in the league over the past few seasons. The problem is he's never healthy, right? You look at this season, he's played 9 games for Carolina. The season before, 16 games. The season before that, 34 games. And in those games, his save percentage, it's average of .913 overall. I mean, it's pretty damn good. Quality start percentage of 60%. That's up there among the league's best. He's been one of the best goalies in the league since joining the Carolina Hurricanes. But he just hasn't been able to stay healthy. And in terms of the contracts he's signed there, I mean, right now he's on a 2-year deal, paying him $3.4 million a season. So for a guy who can play like a starter when he's healthy, that's a pretty decent cap hit. And the contract he signed before that was a 2-year, $4.5 million deal back in 2021. So, which is basically when he joined the Carolina Hurricanes. So, again, I wonder if Thatcher Demko, if there's a similar path to the Vancouver Canucks, like, does it make sense to give Thatcher Demko a 2-year deal, maybe increase the AAV a little bit, knowing that you can put him on LTIR? And, I think being a better goalie in overall compared to Frederik Andersen, maybe it's a cap hit of like a 2-year deal worth like $7.5 million, right? Which seems like a lot, but you got to think about Swayman making 8.5, Allmark making 8.5. Like, the price on starting goaltenders is going up. Thatcher Demko is a guy who has had a Vezina nomination, much like Frederik Andersen has. He's been top 5 in Vezina voting twice in his career. So, again, Thatcher Demko is a better goalie than Frederik Andersen, but I think that's a realistic path for the Vancouver Canucks if Demko can't stay healthy. And to me, it makes much more sense than trading him. Now, I will say this. If Thatcher Demko, for whatever reason, is like, nope, I want a long-term deal, then I think the Canucks got to look at trading him, but I don't see that being realistic because Demko's a smart guy. I think he knows that the Canucks nor any other team are going to be comfortable giving him a 5, 6, 7-year deal based on his injury history. So I think the Canucks got to keep Thatcher Demko, sign him short-term, and hope for the best, man. Like, this guy is a student of the game. He's a nerd of the game. He wants to be out there. And again, we've seen it in spurts this season. He can be an electrifying goaltender when he's at his best.
Yeah. I think there would be a team that would offer him still the term, okay? Because again, like you just brought it up. No, you brought it up. Like, maybe the teams would know that if worse comes to worse, like, there's this under the table agreement, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Demko, we're going to sign you to the 6-year deal. We're not worried about, losing money. It is what it is. Our owners' pockets are deep. I don't know what team this is, but I could see a team like that have that and have this conversation with Demko and be like, again, if at ever you're feeling as if you're not that dog or you're about to get hurt again, because again, I'm pretty sure this guy's in tune with his body more than anyone. Demko's got to let them know so that that team can just put them on LTR and they can agree on like some like a season-ending injury. Demko's going to take the year off to rehab his knee. Like, I feel like he could pull off that card whenever he wants, and boom, bam, you get his contract off the books. And maybe that's a strategy or a philosophy the Canucks should take, or again, any other team, because you know who would think about that philosophy? The Vegas Golden Knights, okay? And they won a Stanley Cup a couple years ago, and they already pulled it off again. Shea Theodore, right? Guaranteed. Okay, not guaranteed. In theory. Okay, you know what I'm assuming? My sources are telling me, my intuition is telling me that they told Shea Theodore, go represent Canada at the Four Nations Charity Extravaganza live at the Edmonton Mall, okay? Wherever this tournament's taking place, okay? Go to that charity tournament. In game 1, get quote-unquote hurt. Come see our doctors. Boom, bam. We'll diagnose you with a broken wrist out for how many more weeks until the playoffs start? 8 weeks exactly. 7.5 weeks. LTIR. Let's go shopping at the deadline. Because what do you think Shea Theodore cares more about? A gold medal at the Four Nations Extravaganza charity tournament or Stanley Cup? What are the chances that out of all the players that are playing in this tournament, the first one that gets hurt for a very long time, Elliot Friedman saying, hey, closer to the playoffs when he'll come back, is a Vegas Golden Knight. So Vancouver, take notes. Okay, if you want to keep Demko and you got it, and he's a Grand Slam type of player, let's say that we got time, science, medicine. Okay, who knows what's going to happen the next couple of years? Okay, Thatcher Demko still got some time here. Maybe we will fix the Papa lettuce, okay, the Papa Tias, and he'll come back to normal. But until then, we'll LTIR you. We'll keep trying you out, but we'll LTIR you again. But when you're back, and if you're back, and if you return to form, boom, bam, we just hit a Grand Slam. And I'm sorry, we don't know what we have in Elias Pettersson. No, real talk. We already traded JT Miller, right? Who again can be a Grand Slam at points in his career still. At 31, me and Trevor still have it at 30. Oh, well, he's 32 now, but you know what I'm saying? He could still do it. I think they got to keep Demko because again, nominated for the Vezina last year. Can the Canucks move forward, losing like two big pieces like that? For you know what I'm saying? Demko's going to be a Canuck at most up until the end of next year for sure. They got to do it.
Yeah, 100%. And let us know in the comments if you feel differently, because I'm curious what Canucks Nation thinks. Doesn't make any sense to trade Thatcher Demko. And again, you look at goalie trades around the NHL, they just don't happen too often. Like I was reading a list before this episode about the biggest goalie deadline deals in the salary cap era. So like over the past 20 years. And it's like Devin Dubnyk, Craig Anderson, Ben Bishop. Like the biggest one was us trading Roberto Luongo back to Florida. So big goalie deals just don't happen all that often. And I would be floored if the Canucks got fair value in a trade for Thatcher Demko. Sign the guy, have him as your dark horse. The ceiling is there. And man, oh man, just hopefully Canucka succolitis stops affecting Demko's injuries.
Succolitis, man.
Yeah, man, it hurts.
Man. It hurts.
It's gotten the better of you, Kyle. It's gotten the better of my voice. Now I'm sounding like an 85-year-old man here on Locked On Canucks. But
that's not Canucka succolitis. It's because you celebrated Valentine's Day early last night. And you know what? When you get to this age, you got to spice things up, okay? Trevor, you don't got a lot of people. There's a reason why you're sounding like that today, okay?
Yeah,
okay?
It's true, man. It's true.
Okay. One more thing about Demko, though, okay? Before we get a little kinky here, okay? I appreciate that. I appreciate Thatcher Demko. I want him to be a leader on the team. I want things to work out for him. Today is actually the first day I thought about maybe even extending him. And like you're bringing up the number like $7.5 million, $8 million, whatever it is, because Swayman and Omar, blah, blah, blah. Maybe there's a chance that like Demko's like, you know what? I've been through hell and back with this organization. They've helped me out a lot. Sure, we've had a couple mistakes here and there on the ice, off the ice. But you know what? We've been through war together. I want to stick this out. And a part of me feels as if he really, really, really is hurt spiritually about missing out on the playoffs last year with that roster and the way he was playing. And he's been waiting his whole career for that. And the noise, the city turning alive. Like maybe he wants to, I don't know, do the most for the city. Get us a cup, be a Vancouver Canuck for even longer. And he's willing to take, a 4-year extension at $20 million or $22 million or at $6, whatever. We don't know. Again, I started this little tangent off on thinking like, do we get 30 more games with Thatcher Demko like this year, next year? Like what's going to happen? We don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. All in all, though, I still want to lean on never knowing that this guy might come back to form eventually, whether it be this year, next year, the year after. And again, he wants to do the most for the city of Vancouver, and he's willing to take a bit of a quote unquote discount, whatever that means for like an injury prone player. Like this is again, one of the most complicated and fascinated soon to be UFAs. I mean, I know we're like 15 months away, but in the NHL right now.
Yeah, man. Oh man. I mean, again, the ceiling is high with Thatcher Demko. I like to think the guy has been through enough and he's just going to figure it out and be healthy. And it makes more than enough sense to keep Kevin Lankinen around as your 1B. Don't worry about Archer Shilovs. If he starts blowing the doors off, you can trade either one of Lankinen or Demko. But I think you get Lankinen signed. You keep Demko around and hope he's an answer, and you keep Shilovs in the fold as well. All right, let's cut to break here. Let's get to the other side. I'll tell you the real reason why my voice is all messed up today. Let's talk a bit about love. Let's talk a bit about the ugliest team in the NHL. What? You're listening to Locked On Canucks. Your Canucks every damn day. We'll be back on the other side after shouting at our friends over at FanDuel. When the games tip off, the NBA action is just getting started. Okay, don't worry about the NBA action because the Four Nations is underway. And man, oh man, it's been a rocket start to the Four Nations. And if you want to get in on the Four Nations betting action, you can do so on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Looking at the games this weekend, ooh, man, oh man. The USA and Canada pretty much deadlocked. There's no favorite. They're both -110 on the money line. On the puck line, the USA is just an ever so slight favorite. But yeah, it's crazy that how close the two teams are. It's going to be a hell of a game. Brady Tkachuk talked about it being the biggest game of his life. Matthew Tkachuk said he's been waiting 9 years for this game. It's going to be a hell of a face-off on Saturday at 5 p.m.
Oh, hell of a face-off. I get that. Okay. All right, Trevor.
Yeah, there you go, buddy.
Sportsnet, I feel bad for your voice right now because that one hit my heart, man. Good one.
There you go, man. And well, if you want to look at MVPs for this tournament right now, Sidney Crosby currently leading the way, +420 as a Four Nations face-off MVP. Connor Hellebuck, Matthew Tkachuk, Austin Matthews, and Connor McDavid rounding out the top 5 in terms of MVPs of this tournament. Kevin Lankinen +5,500. Can he come back and save the Finns? More on that in a couple of minutes. But whatever bet you place, make sure you do so on FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every...
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks and Valentine's Day and your Canucks. And again, Valentine's Day. Apparently people want to talk about Elias Pettersson too, okay? We didn't do this, okay? We out here talking about Demko, keeping him forever, having faith in him, okay? We're trying to keep it positive. And we also trying to make our women feel like champions today, okay? My girl's about to be a champion tonight. Is your girl or your partner going to be a champion tonight? Who knows? That's up to you, but I know mine is. That's love, baby. And like I said, national holiday, global holiday, Valentine's Day. Why not? Dude, what's more important, Christmas or Valentine's Day? Think about it. Trevor. The Carolina Hurricanes, the Vancouver Canucks. What? Talk about it.
I just sort of feel like I had this question in my head this morning. Are the Vancouver Canucks, do they have the potential to be the next Carolina Hurricanes? Are they on that path right now? And it started with the goaltending for me. Like, you have your supposed starter who can't stay healthy with Demko and Anderson. You have, the young guy coming up, like for Carolina, it's now Peter Kochetkov. For the Canucks, it's Archer Shilovs. And for a long time, Carolina had the reliable 1B in Antti Ranta, and we kind of have that in Kevin Lankinen. Obviously, you have a coach in place in Rick Tocchet, who likes to implement the defensive structure, much like Rod Brindamore has done in Carolina. And both teams, at least offensively, are kind of lacking that firepower. Now, Carolina's gone out. They've got Mikko Rantanen. They've beefed up there. But I just wonder if the Vancouver Canucks are on a similar trajectory to Carolina. Like, maybe this team has a high enough floor, good enough structure, good enough goaltending to be dangerous and in the mix. But maybe they lack the elite star power, especially if Mr. 11.6 can't get over the hump. If they lack the star power to actually be dangerous in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Like, tell me, I don't know if it's just me being sick. Maybe it's the meds. Maybe it's the love sick nature getting in my head, man. But am I crazy, or is there something here about the Vancouver Canucks potentially being the next Carolina Hurricanes?
Damn. Well, we got to take way more shots. First of all, is Carolina still like one of the highest shooting teams in hockey? I feel as if they've learned the whole defensive side, and like took a couple years for them to be like quote unquote. I wouldn't say perfect at it, but where there's a base of them being competitive game in and game out, and they've built off of that and just been like a high octane shooting team. Are they still up there in shots per game?
Yeah, let's check it out for this year. Carolina, yeah, third overall in shots per game.
And where are we?
We are, oh my God, 31st.
Okay, so Trevor, here's the thing. Okay, I don't know if it's because you're sick or you're love drunk or whatever, but what's in your coffee, man? You've had like eight shots of whatever in your coffee right now. Captain Morgan's, a little bit of Absolute vodka. Like, what's going on there, buddy? We're not the Carolina. Until the Vancouver Canucks can make the playoffs for like 3 or 4 straight years at least. I know Carolina's never gone over the mountaintop or can't get past the Eastern Conference Finals or the second round. Or dude, the Canucks have made the playoffs once in the last like 10 years. Okay, don't count the bubble playoffs. Okay, we're not even close to what the Carolina Hurricanes are right now. That is actually the truth, and we're fighting with the Calgary Flames. Okay. Quinn Hughes or not, whatever, who cares? We're nowhere close to any of these teams outside of like Utah and I don't know what other teams just barely make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? The Ottawa Senators, straight up. That's the truth. Believe it or not. And we just talked about Thatcher Demko not having his Papatias, right? Or having a damaged Papatias or sprained back or whatever they want to tell us, okay? Like, the Canucks are in shambles too, up until they prove to us consistently that they're not. So, yeah, you are drunk, Trevor. You need a hug, okay? It's because you're sick. Okay, this is what Trevor. Honestly speaking, somebody commented this, okay? And I hope your wife's not watching this video. Okay, look at this. Okay, Gigatronic is saying gingerbread cookies messed up Begsy's voice. That's why I only eat shortbread. Trevor not only ate gingerbread cookies in February, these are gingerbread cookies that he had in his freezer since last year. Now that's 2 months ago, but last year nonetheless. So something happened in those gingerbread cookies, okay? That's changed your whole life. And I need you to drink some hot water when you get home, okay?
Yeah, I thought a coffee would just heal the voice, but apparently not, man. But yeah, I do like to push the limits. I mean, Kyle, I'll ask you this: if you have leftovers in your fridge, how long are the leftovers good for?
Well, like 2 days. 2 days. But the freezer's different, right? Like you're the way you do
Oh,
it.
I know.
Yeah. Your people just great at like back in the day, but they used the snow wisely, freezing all their meat and stuff like that. Okay, that's a new one too. Like I might try that out tonight. Freeze my meat, okay, to spice it up. Valentine's Day, you know what I'm saying? Okay, well, okay. Anyways, Derek's saying that he disagrees with me. Okay, the Canucks are on the up. They're nowhere close to what Carolina is. Oh my God, what are you doing comparing us to Ottawa? Look, numbers don't lie. Check the scoreboard. It is what it is. I have confidence. I'm happy again. I just want to, until they make the playoffs 2 straight years. They haven't made the playoffs in 2 straight years, They haven't really conditioned themselves to be amongst the top 16 in hockey, right? Or get to the dance. Until I compare them to Carolina, it's gonna take more consistency year in and year out. Okay, that's just me.
Yeah, no, I think you make a great point. Like the shots thing is the big differentiator there, right? The Canucks just have struggled enormously to get the puck on net, even when they were playing well last year. Whereas Carolina has been a bit more LA Kings-esque in terms of just dominating the course here, right? Like they always have the best fantasy stats and blah, blah, blah. But when you look at the defensive side for me, like Rod Brindamore is a defense-first coach. And I think what Carolina did a better job of is actually coming up with a defense who can be mobile, who can move the puck up the ice. Like look at the guys they found this year. Shane Gostisbehere, Sean Walker, even Jalen Chatfield, a guy that can skate, right? That was a great pro scouting move by the Carolina Hurricanes, something that most Canuck fans didn't see. Jalen Chatfield becoming a top 4 defenseman.
I did. I not top 4, but number 5 at least. Like I was like, this guy's gonna be better than Aaron Rome. You know what I'm saying? Like
he can skate, right? Good. You can see it back in the North Division season.
He's got the edge to him. Like I think he was like a 5th round pick or a 4th round pick, and anytime he played for the Canucks, I think he might have played 1 or 2 games, if I'm correct, or maybe more. I don't know.
It played a little more.
It seemed like there was so few games of Jalen Chatfield, but the guy had bravado, man. He had confidence, not to throw a Surrey guy under the bus, but look at all the hype around, and I believe in the hype. Archie Baines is going to be a good player, but you never, you don't see that bravado, that confidence. You see that him playing it safe, but the fact that Jalen Chatfield was able to make calm plays 95% of the time and do his thing, but also bring that confidence to bring something, it showed me right away, this guy might be something, but apparently Jim Benning was too busy at Phoenix Coyotes games, okay, scouting Oliver Ekman-Larsson or whatever. I don't know what the hell he was doing. How do you just where am I going with this? Yeah, Carolina's defense more mobile. It just that little description, that the technical side of things, having that in your roster allows you to again be in the offensive zone more and take more shots. And bro, shots are one thing. Again, Carolina is not scoring the most, doing the thing. They've been the shoot heavy team forever. It hasn't given them a cup, I know, in recent history, but one thing it does show you is, again, like, they're competitive. They're more competitive than the teams that they're facing. They're generating more offensive zone faceoffs. Just the little things, like they're having the puck more. The whole shot thing. It's not the being and what's the saying? The be all and end all. The be all and end all. That's a Canadian saying. One of the first Canadian sayings of all time. Okay. Where am I going with this? It's not everything, but it does show that. Carolina's most likely the better team in most of the games they play. And for the Canucks, they're 6-1-1 up until this little stretch. They didn't win back-to-back games since like November, December. Like we still need a lot to happen here for me to be convinced that they're one of those teams. They're Carolina-esque. The Carolina-esque.
Yeah.
The goaltending situation, maybe I'll think more about that, but we're not there yet, Trevor.
One day, man. Canucks just need to shoot the puck more, and they'll be Carolina Hurricanes 2.0, buddy.
Okay, look at this. We got a super chat from David. Thanks, man. Come on, guys. A few bucks for all the entertainment they gave us won't kill. Okay, we don't need the money, okay? We don't need the money. But what Trevor does need is, and Kyle needs this too. I talked a lot of game. I need to pull up to the gas station and grab my girl some roses, man. So we're getting a step closer, man. I think David's giving us $10 today. I'm pretty sure we can buy like 4 roses with that, bro. So the people are taking care of our love life, and it's a family effort here, and I truly appreciate that. Go Canucks, go!
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, love each and every one of you here on Locked On Canucks. Let's wrap up the show on the other side, get into a couple more comments, and talking a bit about the 4 nations this weekend, including what we expect from a couple Canucks in the dance. You're listening to Locked On Canucks, your Canucks every damn day. We'll be back on the other side after we stroke our what?
Okay, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks, Valentine's Day. But again, your Vancouver Canucks, the first love of all time for me and Begsy. But again, our beautiful woman too. And look at this comment from Big Love, okay, saying, "Tell your girl." I'm gonna use plural here, okay? Because Kyle, like maybe you forgot that Trevor's here too, okay? Tell your girls, Happy Valentine's Day from me. Okay, that's beautiful, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, Trevor. You told me before the episode started that you were listening to my girl earlier today. I was like, what's going on here? Like, what's going on? And this is making me think, you're at the bar with your girl, and another man comes up to you and says, yo, your girl's looking beautiful. Your girl's looking hot today. Good job, buddy. Are you offended, or do you give him you high five him like, thank you? I'm offended. I'm mad.
That's a tough question. I'm probably saying thank you and just seeing where it goes. Like I'm on my toes, but I'm saying thank you. So what am I gonna do? Punch a guy out for saying my girl looks beautiful?
What a Canadian! Thank you, buddy. I'll make that guy go blind, bro. What's up, baby? Listen, girls love badasses, bro. Look at this. Anyways, the Canucks. They don't play for a handful of days. I'm kind of bored. I'm not going to lie. I know Team Canada plays Team USA tomorrow. Apparently, like, if USA wins, we're going to get annexed. Like, we're going to become the 52nd state tomorrow, whatever the number is. So, this is a big game, bro. This is a big game. Elliot Friedman talking about wanting Drake to sing the national anthem or just be at the game. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? This is crazy, dude. It's the 4 nations. It's not an Olympics. It's the round robins of the 4 nations tournament. I know it's long overdue. But man, oh man, Donald Trump changing the game of hockey, man.
Man, oh man. But let's just bring out Drake and Kendrick to do the American and Canadian national anthems. There you go.
Damn, bro.
That would be something else.
Look at this comment. No offense to the boys over at the Locked On Senators, okay? Brandon and Ross, legends, okay, paving the way. But Big Love saying this is the biggest game of Brady Tkachuk's life, and that's what Brady Tkachuk said. And since Ross and Brandon, been hosting that podcast for years and years and years and years and years and years, count the years, they never played a playoff game. So I kind of get this. This is a big game for Brady Tkachuk, and he's one of like the focal figures in hockey because he's so entertaining and he finally gets to play big games. And I don't think he's lying about that. Like, I don't think I'm lying about the fact that I said, again, Donald Trump just changed the game of hockey forever. Brady Tkachuk might change it tomorrow too, because there's a chance that this guy's running Connor McDavid from behind. Am I manifesting that? No, I'm not. But I'm just saying there's a chance.
Yeah, I mean, like, what a game against the Finns, right? I mean, obviously, it was pretty close through 2 periods. The Finns kind of hung on, and then boom, 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 just like goal after goal after goal at the beginning of the third there. But Brady Tkachuk in like 13 and a half minutes ice time, 2 goals, 5 shots, 8 hits, like just an animal out there. And like, Kyle, like, tell me who's winning tomorrow. Is it U.S. or is it Canada?
It's Team Sweden, man. Again, I'm not like, look at the colors I'm wearing. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's off the Pettersson wagon. I don't know. Come on, I already played that game for a couple weeks. I just got back on it after the greatest assist in Canucks history. Checked the film last week. Not a better pass ever. Let's be real. Let's be honest, okay? The stanchion didn't have anything on that pass, okay, by Elias Pettersson to Philip Hronek. Changed my life. Got back on the Pettersson wagon. Boom, bam. Next thing you know, 50% of the fan base watched that game against Canada a couple days ago at the Four Nations tournament thing at the West Edmonton Mall, and they're hating on Pettersson. So I got to cheer for my guy, and I don't care about Team USA versus Team Canada. I'm worried about Team Finland versus Team Sweden. Okay, come on.
I'm gonna add a wrinkle to this because we do have some breaking news here. Let's go.
What the?
Kevin Lankinen has been named the starter for Team Finland against Sweden over Jussi Saros. I mean, that is that's fascinating to me because I mean, even like Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen's been really good this season. Stylistically, he's pretty different from Lankinen and Saros. So, yeah, I find it fascinating that they've actually gone with Kevin Lankinen against Team Sweden here.
So what you're about to say right now is, as a Canucks fan, I, Trevor Beggs, am cheering more for Kevin Lankinen than I am Elias Pettersson. Is that what you're about to say, Trevor?
No, because I think the success of the Canucks rides more on Elias Pettersson getting his confidence back. So, I think first and foremost, you want to see Petey just freaking figure it out and find that gear. But I'm also really happy for Kevin Lankinen, who could be, we talked about in this episode, he could be the starter for the Vancouver Canucks, potentially for the next few seasons, right? Depending on what happens with Demko. I mean, don't you want to see the potential starter for the Canucks for the rest of this decade? I mean, that's getting real bold, but you want to start for the Canucks over the next few seasons here, play really well in an international game here. And Kevin Lankinen has been phenomenal for Finland internationally before. I believe it was the 2018 World Championships. He helped Finland win gold, like a 942 save percentage or something like that. And that was right before he signed with the Chicago Blackhawks to come to the NHL. So Kevin Lankinen's shown up big for Finland before. And this game to me has got even more juice now when you got Elias Pettersson going against Kevin Lankinen and the Finns here.
Damn. Trevor Beggs, biggest Kevin Lankinen fan of all time. And Trevor, you're right most of the time here on this program, man. You watch way more hockey than I do. I'm pretty much only loyal to the blue and green. That being said, okay, you said Kevin Lankinen's going to make $3.54 million. That's like you were pretty much guaranteeing that on FanDuel. You're putting your parent, your children's tuition money on that. Okay, he's only going to get $4 million. And I said, bro, he could earn some more money at the Four Nations because that's just life, baby. That's just life. And I'm sorry, looking at like what Blackwood got and this guy got, like, dude, this guy could make $4.55 million. Who knows? Look how you're talking about this guy. Like he's the greatest goalie in Canucks history. Okay, he's set to beat. Kevin Lankinen, if he beats Elias Pettersson and Sweden tomorrow and helps, I don't know, maybe Kevin Lankinen gets Finland to the finals. Who knows? I don't know what's gonna happen in this tournament. Okay, this tournament just got a whole this whole year, this whole roster got a whole lot more expensive for the Vancouver Canucks. No. Real talk, man, because going into the season, the metrics are showing that Kevin Lankinen was about to pop. And he might pop. And I forgot who said this. Like, he's already popped, but he might pop on the global stage now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might really make himself look good. And teams love goaltending. Teams love spending money. It is what it is. But, man, oh, man. Remember, what would it be, like 9 months ago when Kevin Lankinen wanted a couple years at $2 million per, and nobody wanted to give him that contract. And again, the Canucks were already trying to sign Casey DeSmith a couple of days before that, blah, blah, blah. They would have liked that contract, but they couldn't afford it. Why? Because they had to give Vincent Desharnais $2 million for 2 years. Think about that. That is the crazy thing here. How nice would that 2-year deal worth $4 million, $2 million per look for Kevin Lankinen right now, considering that it would have matched up with Demko's contract, all that stuff. But the Canucks have to sign the worst defenseman in hockey. Because what? Because size matters. Okay, let me tell you something. I'm gonna prove tonight. I'm not gonna film. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna put it out in the universe. Okay. Size don't matter. Size don't matter. Skill matters. Swag matters. Okay, getting the job done matters. Being efficient matters. And I'm gonna prove that tonight, so the Canucks never make a mistake again. It's Valentine's Day, baby. Like I said, I'm the nutcracker, the stick break. You ever tried the hip check, Trevor? You ever tried the hip check in bed?
No, I haven't. How's that going for you?
Practice makes perfect, but you only pull it out during special occasions. So I'm gonna have to have a couple times before I do it.
Oh yeah, fair enough. There you go, man.
Hip check tonight, baby.
There you go. I hope you hip check your significant other tonight in the most loving way possible. Let's get to a couple comments real quick before we get out of here because we're over time. David Martin, again, thanks for the super chat in the comments saying, I would like to know what Trevor's reading on his screen to keep him grinning. Honestly, when I'm grinning, it's usually me reading your comments here on Locked On Canucks.
Yeah.
Like Derek Whelan in the comments saying that I need Buckleys. I've never actually had Buckleys in my life. He actually also had a comment about keeping Kermit the Frog's junk out of my throat. So that made me crack up, man. Unbelievable stuff. I mean, you guys make Locked On Canucks what it is. Appreciate the hell of all you for tuning in, from the first-time listeners to the everydayers. If you like what we're doing, go subscribe and like on YouTube on the podcast side. Go follow us. Leave a 5-star review. Discord link in the bio. Chat with the best Canuck fans in the world on the toilet. Have a happy Valentine's Day. Please don't actually hip check your significant other. Unless Kyle, you got some tutorial videos, then we're cool. I'm cool with that, man.
No, but before we get out of here, I just like to dedicate this episode to my girl, man. She's the only reason why I'm here, and I wouldn't be talking to the people if it wasn't for her. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, you don't know. It is what it is, but she knows, and that's all that matters, Trevor.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.